Warning, this game contains content that might not be suitable for most audiences. Viewers' discretion is advised. Hello everyone and welcome back to Lover's Trophy. Today we're gonna be going down Will's route, so hey, let's get right into it, shall we? Decide to go to the park. Some fresh air would do you some good. You consider walking, but the area around the park can be kinda sketchy, so you decide to drive instead. When you arrive at the park and get out of your car, you see a strange shape in the trees. Upon closer examination, the shape seems to be a man hunched over a small animal. You can't tell if the animal is okay, but it could be dangerous to approach him. I suppose I'll call out? Decide it's probably better to call out from afar than to approach. Hey, everything okay down there? The strange man turns to you, starting to look at you properly. There's an animal over here that's been hurt pretty badly. Can you come take a look? There's something odd about his gaze, like he might be sizing you up. I know what happens here. I played this once. Just once. I'm walking away. This just doesn't seem like something you want to mess around with, to be honest. Sorry, but I can't stand blood. I'll call someone out to give you a hand, though. You think you see a flash of irritation on his face for a moment, but you could be wrong. You turn around and head back to your car, climbing in and locking the door just in case. After a moment's thought, you dial up 911 to report the incident. After all, who knows if the guy was a nut job who hurt the animal? It clearly was a natural injury. Once you got through to the operator, you describe the incident, as well as the man you saw at the scene. The operator on the line tells you the police will come soon, but that you don't have to stick around and wait for them. Yeah, let's wait for the police or go back to the motel. I'm going back. Going back to my motel seems like a bad idea. I'm gonna wait for the cops. After considering for a moment, you decide you should probably stick around to file a report with the cops. You're tired, but you really don't feel like being out much longer, but this seems important. After 10 or 15 minutes, a police car pulls into the gravel parking lot, and an officer steps out. You climb out of your car to speak to the officer, sighing a little as you shut the car door behind you. Hello, I understand you wish to file a report about something you saw in this Is that Florence? Yeah, I went to file a report about a man I saw hunched over an injured animal. I see. Can you tell me a little more about what you saw? What did the man look like? I didn't get a very good look, but he was blonde, wearing a green button-down. The police officer seems to be taking notes as he speaks, scribbling furiously in his notepad. If you're comfortable talking about it, can you tell me about the condition of the animal you saw? The sign made you a little sick to remember, but you nodded, take a deep breath before you spoke. The animal seemed to be alive still, but was bleeding a lot, especially from its mouth. Bleeding from the mouth area. And you're sure about all this? You say you were some distance away. Yeah, I'm very sure. I remember the man had blood all over his shirt and hands too. The officer seems unsettled by a description of the events, and he glances around quickly to see who else is there. Yeah, I'm not supposed to tell you about this, but I think you deserve to know a little bit more about the man you saw. The truth is, this isn't the first time we've been called down for an incident like this. The officer looked away for a moment, his expression disturbed. It's the face of a man who has seen some stuff. There has been some serious mutilations like this one, and not just in animals, in people too. Mutilations where animals will turn up at vets missing all their teeth, or dead bodies will appear completely toothless. I think you must have gotten damn lucky when you decided to turn around and call for help. If you'd gone up to that man, you might have been the next to turn up dead and missing teeth. A chill runs down your spine at the thought of the narrow scrape you've just had. You spend another 10 minutes or so filling out the paperwork to file a report, then climb back into your car. The ride back to your motel passes in unsettling silence, and you park your car in the lot quietly when you arrive. As you approach your motel room and unlock the door, you have a strange feeling that you're not alone. Standing in the cramped living space of your motel room, you swear you can hear a sound like air through a window. Has someone come into your room in the time it took you to get back? Run? You're not one of those idiots in the horror movies. You're not gonna go investigate a stranger in your house. You turn your butts right around and head for the door, but fortunately, it seems that the intruder expected this. You can feel a wiry arm wind around your wrist, yank you hard against your assailant's chest. It will. The intruder's other hand comes around to force a rag against your mouth and nose, forcing you to breathe it in. Your lungs fill with the burn of chemicals, and you thrash against its grip, jerking your head to the side. With your head turned, you're able to catch a glance of your attacker before it passes out. Shh. Quit fun. It'll go a lot faster if you let it happen. The man's face and voice are both familiar. Just the same man you saw in the park. You don't have much time to struggle before the world begins to fade to black around you. We're gonna have a lot of fun, you and I. Frick! With your eyes open, they're flooded with an intense light that stings to look at. Your eyes take a moment to adjust to the light, but you soon realize it's coming from a dental light above you. Your eyes set up, only to be stopped sharply by cold, solid metal. 4 metal cuffs bind you to a reclined dental chair, 2 around your wrists and 2 around your ankles. Ahead of you, you can see a slightly grimy walls and the rough, hard carpeting of a basement. There's not much to see in front of you, but looking to your left, you spot something that churns your stomach. The left-hand walls of the basement, a set of shelves holds what must be hundreds of jars of teeth. I hate to think how many of these jars are filled with teeth from victims just like you. Call out, stay quiet, try to escape the cuffs. I feel like the best option here is probably to stay quiet. I'm not sure, because trying to escape the cuffs might not be the smartest idea. Let's stay quiet. It feels like you spent hours sitting in the basement alone, staring at the wall, or looking at the jars of teeth. Sitting in the empty room alone, it's hard not to think about all the other victims before you. So many jars of teeth on the shelves, how many came from people just like you? It makes you feel sick to think about it, so you just try your best to stop. Finally, after an eternity of waiting, the door seems to open behind you. A man from the park approaches you where you sit in the dental chair, smiling in an odd sort of way. You're awake. Have you been up long? The strange man doesn't seem to wait for an answer before he begins setting up a tray of tools. Let's see. I'll ask who he is. Let me get to know the guy. Why not? You know this man was the one who kidnapped you in the park, but you don't really know much else about him. So, who are you? Handsome. My name is Wade Kurtz. Oh, Wade! I thought your name was Will. I'd like you to call me Dr. Curtis while you're my patient. The man who you now know as Wade sets the last of his tools on the tray that turns towards you. Now, I'm going to need you to open nice and wide for me, alright? Well, I'll open my mouth. You don't think making him mad is a very good idea. You open your mouth hesitantly, and he seems pleased at your cooperation. Thank you. This will make everything much easier. Wade picks up one of the shiny metal tools from the tray beside him carefully. Now, let's begin with an examination. He brings a small, sharp metal hook close, scraping carefully at the surface of your teeth. Glancing downwards leaves your face flushed with embarrassment as you look away. Is he seriously getting, turned on from this? Wade lets out a sigh, looking you over now that you're up from the dental chair. Let's get you set up with somewhere to sleep. Also, yes, I did skip a scene. If you guys want to see me do the Glub Glub 3000 on Wade, hey, link to that's in the description. Well, link to my Patreon's in the description. But anyway, let's get you set up with somewhere to sleep. He stalks over to one of the set of cabinets in the basement, pulling out a large cushion. He tosses it flat onto the ground, adding a blanket and a small pillow as well. What's up with all these kidnappers having, not having decent, sleeping amenities? For the love of God, can you at least get a blow-up mattress? I mean, I don't think it's that expensive. Upon close examination, the thick pad seems to be a dog bed. It's one of the nicer ones for sure, but dog bed nonetheless. This'll have to do, since you can't come upstairs. He shrugs easily, motioning to the bed. Are you hungry? I can bring you something to eat before you sleep. You know, besides my splooshies. Yeah, I'll accept the food, because why not? I mean, heck, it's not like you poisoned it or something. You want me alive so that you can get these nice teethies. Accept the food. Yeah, sure, I can use something to eat. You don't entirely trust him, but in the end, you don't have much of a choice. Your stomach's growling, and probably need your energy if you're going to escape. Wade nods, seeming indifferent as he head towards the door. I'll be back in a minute with something for you to eat. He steps out, shutting the door behind him and leaving you in the dark of the basement. For a moment, you just sit in the darkness, listening to the sound of motion in the next room. The basement must lead into the kitchen. A minute later, Wade steps back into the room, holding a black plastic tray. I brought you TV dinner. Hope that's fine. I don't need much else. Eh, sure, it's fine. I mean, heck, it's what I used to eat a lot back in college. He plops the food down in front of you, handing you a blunt plastic kitty fork to eat with. Didn't want to give you a sharp fork. I'd be pissed if you stabbed me. Wade laughs a little, watching you as you hesitantly dig into a soggy microwave meal. It's not great, but it's the best you're going to get. Alright, well, I'll leave you alone to get some sleep now. Wade leaves the basement again, and you eat your dinner in the dark. It doesn't taste great, but it's not horrible, and it fills your growling stomach. With your appetite soothed, you sigh, settling down in your dog bed, pulling the blanket over you. Maybe you should get some rest. Yeah, let's, get some rest. Why not? In the end, you decide the best thing you do is get some rest. After all, you'll need your energy. You still need to figure out a way to escape this horrible place. It's gonna be way harder to do if you can't think straight because of sleep deprivation. You settle down in the dog bed, pulling a blanket over you. A strange, worn, old coat. You wonder for a moment where it came from, but in the end, it doesn't matter. It's just something you're using to stay warm in a serial killer's basement. You don't need to think about you don't need to think about this guy's whole backstory. You just need to get the heck out of here. It's difficult, but eventually your eyes drift closed. There will be time to worry about that sort of thing tomorrow. When you wake, it's hard to tell if it's morning or not. Your vision's a bit fuzzy at first as you yawn, looking around you. You're still in the basement, right where you were when you fell asleep. You can't help thinking back to last night and wondering how it could have ever really happened. It all seems kind of strange, surreal, nightmare. You pinch yourself, hoping the pain will snap you out of it. You don't wake up, of course. After all, this is no dream. You're really here, really stuck. The door to the basement creaks open after a moment, and Wade walks into the basement. He's wearing pretty much the same clothes as he did yesterday, still just as worn and stained. Yo, fam, if you need somebody to help with laundry, you could have asked. I have to go to work. I'll be back later. If I get back and you pulled something dumb, you don't want to know what will happen. Oddly, Wade seems off-put about something very different than he was last night. Any amount of satisfaction he got from what he did to your poor mouth seems to have faded. All you can do is hope he won't escalate to worse measures. Oh, but I brought you something. Wade tosses you a packet, and upon closer examination, it seems to be a junky snack cake. He tosses a Ziploc towards you as well, containing a toothbrush, toothpaste, and a bottle of water. Brush your teeth once you eat. I'll know if you don't. It may just be because he's on his way to work, but Wade seems to be in a much worse mood. He leaves the basement in a huff, locking a tie behind him. Examine the items Wade gives you, sighing. I'll eat the damn cakes. Wait, what if I don't eat the snacks? I'll eat the damn cake. You can't help yourself. As soon as Wade left the room, you scarfed down the cakes eagerly. You're too hungry to turn down food, even something as junky and sugar-loaded as these. You devour them too fast and don't even get much chance to enjoy them. Still, the sugary taste and familiar frosting lingers in your lips, and tongue are soothing. They remind you of simpler, less nightmarish times. Maybe someday things will be okay again like they were before all this happened. Having made your decision about the sugary snack cakes, you now turn your to glance over at the other bag. Wade gave you a water bottle, toothbrush, and toothpaste. He said he would know if you didn't brush your teeth. But would he really? What's he gonna do, sniff your breath? Still, maybe you should test him. I'm definitely gonna brush my teeth. Eventually decide it's not worth the risk that Wade might hurt you if you ignore him. Who knows, maybe he would smell your breath to check if you brushed him. Honestly, you wouldn't put it past him. He seems weird enough for that. You pull out your toothbrush and toothpaste, duck your toothbrush in the water bottle to get it wet. You brush your teeth as thoroughly as you can manage without a mirror. You know you're not supposed to swallow toothpaste, but spitting on the ground seems gross. You swallow the leftover toothpaste, washing it down with a few gulps of the water bottle. Once your teeth are clean, you stuff everything back in the baggie, sighing. Wade would probably be away for hours longer. What can you do for yourself for that long? Search the basement. In the end, you decide to search through the basement. Maybe if you look well enough, you can find something important out about him. You start with a large wall of jars, each of them filled with teeth. It makes you a bit sick to look at, but you push on. Each of the jars is filled with different sets of teeth, of all shapes and sizes. Every single jar has a label, carefully handwritten and secured with rubber or cement. Some of the oldest jars have labels that are yellowing and peeling off at the corner. Each jar is lovingly labeled with the species the teeth came from, as well as the date. The date seems to represent when he got the teeth. The most recent, a jar of dog teeth, is labeled the date you saw him in the park. You shudder a little at the memory of the poor wounded animal. As you flick your eyes over the jars, you find yourself stopping on one in particular. It looks older than the rest. The jar is unlike the others as well, both in appearance and labeling. While the other jars are carefully labeled, stored in medical jars or clean new mason jars, this set seemed to be stored in an old washed-out pasta sauce jar. The label has no scientific information on it. All it has is a name and a date. Marissa Summers, dated June 17th, 18 years ago. Little chill runs down your spine at the side. Her teeth are meticulously clean or perfectly labeled. These seem to be much older than the rest of the collection. It did something awful to get these, you could tell. You turn away from the shelves, shaking yourself mentally. You need to get a hold of yourself. You need to keep looking. Search the cabinets? You shake up the feeling of horror, moving towards the cabinets and beginning to dig through them. At first, all you manage to find are mechanic tools, like wrenches and hammers. Then your hand hits something else. A small paper box. You take a hold of it, pulling it out slowly, your eyes wide as you read the label. A full box of rat poison. You pull it out carefully. Gonna give it a tentative whiff. It has the faint almond smell you've heard cyanide is meant to give off. You can't believe you've gotten so lucky. This could be a ticket out. All you have to do is slip some of this into his food and you'll be home free. He'll keep the poison. You look around surreptitiously, as though he could somehow still be watching you. Then you snag the Ziploc you put your toothbrush and toothpaste in. You toss the dental supplies aside, pouring some of the poison into the baggie and zipping it shut. You tuck your baggie in your pocket for safekeeping, then put it into the box. You do your best to put it back in the exact position you found it, so he won't notice. You don't want to have blood on your hands, but it's beginning to seem like it's the only way. You need to get out of here. Surely the cops who rule it in self-defense is well hard. Sometimes the only way to escape a killer is to become one. But you won't be like him. You're not doing this for your own enjoyment. You're doing this for your freedom. Search the boxes. Decide to check the cardboard boxes piled into one corner. You approach them carefully. The boxes are dusty and they seem like they haven't been touched in years. The top few boxes seem normal enough. Christmas ornaments, all art made by a child. As you examine the toothy grins of the shaky stick figures in the pictures, you wonder if Wade made these. As you get to the bottom of the first box though, you stumble across a photo album. The front is pale blue, with a framed photo of a tiny blonde baby pasted on the cover. The cover is decorated with layers of frothy lace and silk bows. Somehow you don't think Wade made this himself. As you flip over the front cover, you read the inscription on the inside. To baby Wade, welcome to the world, I can't wait to watch you grow. I'll love you forever, unconditionally. Love, Mom. The message seems sweet, and you find yourself wondering why this album is out here. Such a sweet memory should be kept in the house and looked at with love and joy. As you flip through the album, it becomes more clear as the years pass why the album is not inside. The baby years seem sweet, and the toddler years too. But as Wade grows into a child, something happens. Even in still photos without context, you can see the distance growing between Wade and his mom. A small, thin, gap-toothed boy with wild hair and sad eyes. A tall pixie of a woman, perfectly groomed. Her face shows a smile, but strained and tense. Mistrustful distance, feet apart. Wade looks so uncomfortable when his mother touches him. Wade found a pair of dentures in the garbage today. He cried when I threw them out. Wade won't stop coming home with animal teeth. He pulls them out and mouths a roadkill on his walk home from school. It's creeping me out. I try to throw those nasty jar of teeth Wade had. He marched right to the dump and brought them back. As you read through the inscriptions on the pages, the photos of the years gone past, you feel a sinking feeling inside of you. It's strange to see a mother and son grow apart like this, passing through time as an observer. Did she recognize the signs of a mentally unstable child? Is that why she was so unsettled by her son? Or was it his mother's fear that made Wade feel like the only way to indulge his love of teeth was to take them by force, in secret? It's never easy to tell which event caused the other, but as you close the album and hide it, you find you can't get the huge, sad eyes of young Wade out of your mind. Wait, try to escape? Okay. Finally decides it's time for you to get the frick out of here. You have your best chance of escaping while he's at work. That way, if you get out, you'll have a multiple-hour head start before he can start tracking you down. Look around the basement for anything that might help, but you don't have much luck. At least, not until your eyes land on the pillow sitting on top of the dog bed. Stuck to the pillow, probably lost from the hair of the previous occupant, is a small, thin bobby pin. You grab it quietly, hoping you'll be able to pick the lock to the basement door with it. You're not exactly adept at picking locks, but you're gonna have to learn fast if you want to get out of here. You hurry up to the basement door, your heart racing. The door is still covered in scratches. Strips of paint peeled away by nails, marks of the desperate people just like you have felt here. You'll be the one to get out. You have to be. You'll get out of here, and you'll tell the police everything. You fumble with a bobby pin, swearing under your breath as you jiggle it in the handle of the door. At first, it seems like it isn't going to work, but then you hear a faint click. You test the doorknob, and it twists freely in your hand. You swing the basement door open, your eyes widening as you step out into the sunlight of the kitchen. You can't believe it. You might actually make it. You might be able to get out of here. Your hopes are crushed when the living room door slams open. You know you can run back down to the basement, but you can't do anything except stare, dumbfounded. Wade is back, but he's not alone. What are you doing outside the basement? The girl Wade is dragging along with him seems to be unconscious, slumped over as he drags her along. One of her arms sits, slung over his shoulder for support. He brings her down into the basement, glaring at you. You better stay right where you are if you know what's good for you. You walk through the kitchen doorway, your stomach turning with nerves. Wade straps the unconscious girl down onto the dental table, cranking the shackles tight. When he turns back around, grabbing you hard by the wrist. What were you thinking? I told you to stay in the basement! His hands are shaking a little, his pupils dilated to near pinpricks. Something hasn't worked up. It's not just the anger. He had a look like this on his face when he introduced himself to you. Something almost deranged, unnameable, but terrifying. He's coming unhinged. You can't tell why. Wade stands there silently for a moment, staring at you with those hungry, frightening eyes. Then he yanks you through the basement door, slamming it shut behind him. I know just the right punishment for you. Since I can't exactly kill you yet, I need another outlet. I've sort of taken a liking to you, but our fun last night wasn't enough. I need something more. Something raw. A strange manic laugh bubbles forth, a sound you've never heard him make. He's coming unglued, slowly splitting at the seams. His carefully constructed kindness is tearing away. And underneath it, you can see his true face, the ugly face of death. You stare at him in horror as he motions to the girl on the dental chair. Since you were stupid enough to try to escape, instead of staying put, that means you're part of this now. You're going to help me every step of the way. You're frankly ashamed of yourself as you're not, too afraid of him to refuse. You don't want to sacrifice this girl's life to preserve your own, but something about his expression scares you. This is nothing like what he's done with you before. This is something different altogether. Something darker. Wade turns to the girl in a chair, grinning when he sees her begin to stir. Oh good, she's waking up. Where am I? The strange girl Wade has brought into the basement blinks a couple of times, unsure of her surroundings. You feel guilty as you watch her tug at a restraint, remembering when you were in her position. Today, we're going to do a root canal. Wade turns to look at you, motioning for you to come closer. Bring me the drill, won't you? Your stomach churns, but you know if you don't do what he says, it could easily be you on that table. You walk up to the tray of tools on his work table, picking up the electric bone drill. The girl must have been drugged somehow because she stares without comprehension at the drill. What's that for? Wade grins towards her as he takes the drill from you. Remember that sick grin from your first meeting with him. Hello there. My name is Dr. Curtis, and this here is a bone drill. We'll be using it to give you a root canal today. I don't need a root canal. I don't think I do. The girl looks around in a drug-induced haze, frowning a little. This doesn't look like a dentist's office. Well, it is now. Now, stop talking. I need to be able to access your teeth. Unlike with you, Wade doesn't give this girl the chance to keep her mouth open on her own. He wedges the cheek retractor into her mouth right away, and after that, all that can be heard a muffled protest. Wade picks up the drill, pulling the trigger a few times to watch the tiny drill bit whir. Now, this might hurt a bit. He brings the drill down carefully, pushing against the chewing surface of one of her teeth. The smell of calcium fills your nose as bone shavings fly into the air. Above the whir of the drill, you can hear the girl's incoherent screams. Wade is worked up now, growing hot in his pants. He drills a hole deep into her tooth, groaning a little as the core is exposed. All those nerve endings and blood vessels. Wade sets down the drill, reaches his hand down, instead to palm himself lightly through his jeans. You're not exactly sure what to do, watching Wade drill into this girl's tooth. You know you could be the one in her place just as easily. Also, God, the sound of the drill is just... Oh, God, I hate dental drills. You like you should intervene, but you shouldn't just stand by and let her die. Though there's a good chance intervening might just lead to both of you dying. Is that a risk you could really take? Save her, keep yourself safe. Oh, I have nothing to save her with. Oh, God, I'll keep myself safe. Being forced to choose between your own life and someone else's is a horrible choice to make. In the end, you have to put yourself first. All you can do is look away as he rubs himself through his jeans, groaning a little as he drills into her tooth. His heavy breathing tells you how worked up he is, and you can hear unintelligible pleading. The poor girl is still trying to beg for help or mercy, even through the cheek retractor. You cover your ears, squeeze your eyes shut. You feel sick having to see and listen to this. After what feels like an eternity, the pleading stops and the groaning goes quiet. You carefully uncover your ears, your eyes fluttering open. When your eyes open, Wade is standing in front of you. Behind him, you can see the girl on the table. Well, you did a good job staying out of the way. Now, to decide what to do about the mess. He hums a little, looking contemplative. It's not the dead body he's looking at. It's you. Wade stares at you for a moment, then sighs. I've been putting it off longer than I should have. He seems a bit disappointed as he speaks, considering you closely. I think I hoped something about you would be different. You seem different than the others. But I think I was wrong. You're not as different as I thought. It's okay, because you're not entirely worthless. You'll still be plenty useful to me. He reaches towards his tool tray, picking something up, and you back up nervously. You have a bad feeling about this. He's talking so ominously. He lunges, shoving a needle into your thigh, and he judges you with something that burns in your veins. Go to sleep, darling. For your sake, I hope you stay asleep for what I've got to do next. You try to fight the creeping darkness, but eventually your vision fades out. When your eyes open again, you're aware of where you are, but you can't seem to move. You can only watch, your eyes wide and horrified as you realize what's going on. You're strapped down to the dental chair, mouth forced wide open. A horrible aching throbs in your mouth, and there's a strange empty feeling. Wade hovers over you, a look of irritability on his face as he concentrates in your mouth. You would scream if you could, but your voice is silenced as you feel him rip out one of your teeth. Suddenly you realize what the empty feeling in your mouth is. He's pulling out all your teeth. Wade raises a brow when he sees your eyes looking around frantically. Ah, you woke up. That's a shame. I was hoping that drug would be strong enough to keep you out. Sorry about this, but you're just not all that useful to me anymore. Don't worry, I'll always cherish these. Wade holds up one of the teeth he extracted from your mouth happily. He drops the tooth into a jar and picks up a syringe from a table. Let's put you back under, alright? You don't have the voice to protest, so all you can do is watch in horror as he injects you once again. This time, you never wake up. Ah, frick! Okay, I guess I'll save the strange girl. I guess that was the right choice. I guess taking the moral high ground is the right choice. You can't just stand around, knowing you might have been able to save her. You need to do something. You lunge forward, grabbing hold of the drill in Wade's hands. What are you doing? In struggle that ensues, you can't think of anything except surviving. But Wade is stronger, and he has the upper hand. Before you know it, you're pinned, and Wade holds the drill close to your temples. The fierce drill bit is still whirring. You can feel the slight breeze on your skin. Give me one reason I should let you live! Beg for forgiveness, ask him to screw off. Screw off! You're gonna die, you know it. There's no way you're gonna be able to save the girl either. At least you go out with some dignity. You glare up at him, spitting it at his face angrily. Screw off, you lunatic! You're insane! What the hell makes you think you're entitled to people's lives? Wade looks enraged and he glares harshly. Wrong answer. He bears the drill into your temple, all the way up to the hilt. You barely even have a second to register what's going on, but that's more than enough. The pain of having your brain scrambled by the drill is unbearable. When your eyes close, you know they're never gonna open again. At least you went out with a bang. Ah, frick. I will beg for forgiveness. When you see his expression, pride is honestly the last thing on your mind. You need to act quick if you're gonna survive his anger.
Please, please, I'm sorry. Don't hurt me. I'm so sorry.
Wade hesitates a moment, and you're relieved to see expression soften, if only slightest. I like to imagine that, yes, that was actually my character's like reaction to all this, just straight up.
Oh, Will, please. Wait, Sama, please. Don't hurt me. I'm sorry.
And Wade is just like, what is this? What is this thing? Ah! He steps back, give you a little more space. Prove it. How? You have a bad feeling about this. Whatever he wants you to do can't be but good. Do it yourself. He holds out a drill to you, a cruel shine in his eyes as he watches for a reaction, or squeezes your stomach as your eyes widen. Do what? But of course you already knew. You just don't want to acknowledge it because it would make it real. Kill her, of course. What else would I want? Wade steps aside, motioning to the drill, still straining and crying on the table. That's how you can show me you're really sorry. Kill her and I'll let you live. Wade watches you eagerly, seeming hungry for your reaction. What are you going to do? It's either her or you. Couldn't I have just like turned around and go like, brrr! Like that's an option. That's an option. I kill her? Maybe. You have no choice. You feel awful at having to make a decision like this, but you know what you need to do. You take the drill from Wade's hands. Trying not to look into the girl's terrified eyes as she looks up at you. You hesitate a moment, and Wade comes to stand next to you, his warm, rough hand pressing against yours. He guides your head so that the drill is right next to the girl's temple. All you have to do is push it in. Quick and easy, right? It doesn't feel easy at all. You feel like you're going to be sick. You push on the handle of the drill, watching in horror as the drill sinks into the girl's brain. She screams, but only for a second, and then she's dead. She's lucky in a way. You hit one of the parts of her brain that are fatal, instead of accidentally lobotomizing her or something. You kind of wish you could get a lobotomy right about now. You pull the drill out of the dead girl's head, your hand shaking, and Wade takes it away from you. He sets it down, watching blood trickle down the girl's temples from the hole in her head. You did a good job. You follow orders so well, little sheep. His hands lift, smudge a little blood on your cheek as he holds your face. Wade stares at you for a moment, then sighs. I've been putting it off longer than I should have. He seems a bit disappointed as he speaks, considering you closely. I think I hope something that would be different. Ah, god damn it! Does this lead to another dead end? It does. Okay, I refuse. Your hands are shaky as you take the drill from him. Stare at the girl in the dental chair. Can you really kill someone else to save your own life? You gulp hard. You feel ill thinking about it. Take your life, an innocent life, to save your own. I can't do it. You drop the drill, step away from the chair. You shake your head, a little frantic as you turn to him. I can't kill her. Please, don't hurt me. Wade seems irritated for a moment, considering your expression. Fine, I'll do it myself. Wade bends, picking up the drill from the ground. You watch in detached horror as he drills right into the center of her forehead. God damn it, how many times has she died in this playthrough? Like, not even me. Like, heck, I can die as many times as I want. But like, this poor lady here, like, heck, she ain't got nothing to do with this. She hardly even has time to scream before the light fades from her eyes. Wade turns to you, switching off the drill and setting it down on his tray of tools. Now, the real question is, what should I do with you? Wade stares at you for a moment, then sighs. I've been putting it off longer than Are you serious? Okay, we had to go back because apparently I messed things up. I'm supposed to approach Wade here instead of calling out. Frick, I'll approach. As you approach, you can see a man more clearly. You can tell the animal he's hunching over his hut. At first, he can't tell you're coming, but when you step on a twig, his head whips around to look at you. Oh, thank goodness someone's here. This animal's seriously hurt. Although his tone is relieved, something about the strange man's expression seems off, like he's sizing you up. Your eyes flash over him as he stands to look at you, searching for any helpful details. The man seems rather suspicious, but his animal definitely needs some help. Should I call a vet? I don't think any of the emergency vets around here will make the drive up to come pick up an animal. I want to move the dog to my truck so I can drive it to the vet. I've been waiting for someone to come help. I would do it myself, but I can't carry it gently enough to avoid injuring it, and also get my truck door open. The animal clearly needs help, but it's sort of a leap of faith to get into the car of a stranger. I'll agree. Yeah, right, let's get this poor baby to the vet. You scoop up the injured dog in your arms, glad to feel it breathing faintly in your grasp. You carry it as gently as you can, following the strange man to a big blue pickup truck. The truck must be an old model because the paint is faded and powdery, with lots of chips and rusty spots. The strange man opens the door of the truck to help you get the animal inside. You nestle the dog into an old cardboard box, advertising Diet Decrypt energy drinks, lined with a soft blanket. Once the dog is tucked safely in the box, you come around the side of the truck to climb into the passenger seat. The strange man climbs into the driver's seat, shutting the door behind him. For a moment, he seems to be digging for something next to his seat, but you don't really think much of it. You climb into the passenger seat, settling down the peeling brown vinyl seat, and close your door. You expect him to start the engine, but instead you hear the clicking noise as the car's doors lock. You glance over at your door, startled, but you don't have much time to fumble the lock and pull it open. Before you can manage to get the car door open, the strange man lunges across the center console. With one hand, he grabs your hair and holds your head in place as the other hand presses a rag over your face. The rag smells strongly of chemicals and you grow woozy quickly. Sorry about lying to you. I had to get you on my car somehow. And we're back with your eyes open again, the flare of an intense light, back in the basement where we try to escape the cuffs. You know, no matter how scared you are, you can't just sit there and do nothing. You squirm in your dental chair, struggling against the metal shackles. It hurts, and your skin gets a bit scraped, but eventually manage to wriggle your wrists free. With your hands open, you undo the ankle shackles easily, standing and stretching your stiff limbs. I tried to open the door. It may be too much to hope for, but you head towards the door, hoping you might be able to get it unlocked. To your surprise, the door is unlocked. You swing it open nervously, almost holding your breath. As the door swings open, you catch a glimpse of a tiny suburban kitchen before your view is blocked. The man from the park is standing in front of you in the doorway, and he does not look pleased. What are you doing out of your chair? The man grabs you roughly by the wrist, dragging you back towards the dental chair. I suppose I will struggle? You try to yank away from the strange man's grip, staring at him bitterly. Let me go! You're insane! You can't keep me here! The man releases you, only to slap you hard across the face, watching you fall with a thud to the floor. As your head hits the ground, a coppery taste fills your mouth. When you spit out blood, something white falls with a little click on the floor as well. The man stoops to pick up what must be one of your teeth, wiping it off with his jeans. Beautiful. The man pauses to drop the tooth into a jar, his back turned towards you. The man turns back once more, once the teeth has been put away, frowning at you again. You're done being difficult now. I guess I will stay down. You can't bring yourself to stand up, blood still dribbling down your lip. You can feel the empty hole in your gums where your tooth used to be. Seems like you've come to your senses. Good. This man seems a little less irritated as he holds his hand out to help you up. I take his hand. Hesitantly, you reach your hand out to accept his help. His palm is warm in yours, and he has the callous hand of a blue-collar worker. The man helps you to your feet, seeming pleased that you accepted his hand. You're done causing trouble now. He doesn't release your hand, even once you're on your feet, leading you towards the chair. He doesn't seem the type to hold hands, so it's hard to tell if it's affection or control. He straps you back down to the chair, pulling the straps snug, but not painfully so. I'll ask why he brought me here. Why did you bring me here? What do you want from me? You can't keep the tone of panic out of your voice as you speak, your voice wavering a bit. The man seems to be a little more than amused as he speaks up to answer your question. Well, my name is Dr. Wade Curtis, and I brought you here because your teeth need dental attention. You gulp, unsettled by the idea of him working on your teeth. Are you the one who's been pulling teeth out of animals' mouths? Ah, yes. I've had to work far too often on animal subjects recently. Wade appears a bit annoyed at being reminded about this fact. Luckily, he ran into me at just the right time. I've been wanting to work on human teeth more often. Now, open your mouth nice and wide so I can take a look at those teeth, okay? I'll open my mouth. You don't think making mad is a very good idea. You open your mouth hesitantly, and he seems pleased at your cooperation. Thank you. This will make things much easier. And we are gonna be skipping ahead. So Wade is done putting his deadly right down our throats, and apparently now he wants to take us out. Come on, we'll get you something to eat before you get some sleep. He motions for you to follow, and you watch in surprise as he opens up the basement door. Is he letting you out? You're suspicious, of course, but you have a better chance of escaping up there than in here. You follow him cautiously, stepping out of the basement. The door leads out of the basement and into a small kitchen, slightly outdated, but still nice. Somehow, you expected the rest of the house to be creepier, similar to the basement. Just looking around you, you would never expect a murderer to live here. Wade stands in the kitchen, pausing by the refrigerator. What do you like to eat? I don't usually cook, but I can make some easy stuff. He opens the freezer, pulling out frozen TV dinner for himself. He holds it up, looking towards you. Do you like these? I can heat one for you too. He pauses a moment, seeming kind of awkward. At least he's being remarkably nice though. He opens one of the cabinets above his counter, pushing around some of the boxes in there. I can make you mac and cheese if you don't like TV dinners. Pasta is about all I can cook though. He looks a little ashamed at this lack of cooking skills, honestly. After a moment of thought, you decide on one of the options. Oh, I guess I'll go for TV dinner. You see about the options he has for you. Both of them are kind of weird, but hey, they're all you've got. Which of them seems less gross? You examine the TV dinner in his hand. Fried chicken and mashed potatoes. The chicken will be undoubtedly soggy and the potatoes flavorless. At least it comes with brownies, though. He'll take the same thing you're having. Wade seems pleased as he nods, pulling another one out of the freezer and shutting the cabinet. You'll like it. I promise. These ones are really good. For someone so conscious about dental health, he sure eats a lot of junk food. Wade microwaves your food first, then his own, handing you a fork. Promise not to stab me with that if I let you use it. You pause, a moment to think, then nod. Yeah, I promise. Eating with your fingers sounds unappealing, and besides, if you're going to grab a weapon from his kitchen, you'd grab a knife, not a fork. Once the food is ready, Wade turns to you with an odd smile. Let's go sit down and watch a movie or something. He leads you out to a simple living room, small but pretty charming. Outside the window, the sky is dark, a shiny street lit with streetlights. How could they have killed so many people without a single neighbor noticing? Wade settles down on the couch, patting the seat next to us. Come on, sit down. We can watch a movie before bed. You sit awkwardly, a little confused by his behavior. He's acting as if what went down in the basement never happened. Wade grabs the remote, flicking to the television and turning on some silly action movie. It looks like a ripoff of the Fast and Furious, titled Quick and the Quarrelsome. The plot is lame, but Wade seems more interested in the explosions and car crash effects. He cheers and laughs when the cars blow up, and it's honestly a little endearing. You really shouldn't find this as attractive as you do. After a while, though, the movie ends and Wade yawns, stretching a little. He stands, glancing towards you with his tired smile. Let's get our teeth brushed and head to bed. You stand from the couch, a little weirded out by all this. Wade leads you towards the bathroom, skipping the gesture and just pulling you by the hand. His hand is warm and calloused, worked rough by whatever job he works during the day. He tugs you along, opening the door to the bathroom and brings you aside. Wade brings the toothbrush from the counter, wetting it in the sink and turning to you. He seems disturbingly excited, honestly. Open wide, darling. That's about when it hits you that he intends on brushing your teeth himself. It's a really strange idea, and he's disturbingly excited about this. Yeah, let's let him brush our teeth. Hesitantly, you open your mouth to let him access your teeth. He grins, excited by your compliance. It's kinda awkward to see how eager he is. He pushes the toothbrush into your mouth, carefully brushing every surface, nook and crevice. He's careful about cleaning your teeth and disturbingly fascinated by the process. Your teeth are so shiny, I have to take care of them. You floss often. You should floss at least once a day. Much like a real dentist, he completely ignores the fact that you can't respond with your mouth full. He takes his time brushing your teeth, and you can tell he's hard in his pants. Does he get a hard-on from brushing people's teeth? Ugh! What if you wonders if he could just sploosh by brushing your teeth? You can't decide if that would be flattering, freaking weird, or some odd combination of the both. Either way, it seems you won't have to find out. Finally, he takes the toothbrush out of your mouth, nodding. All clean now. You can rinse with mouthwash. You make sure you rinse as instructed. Then, to your surprise, he applies fresh toothpaste right onto the same brush and pops it into his mouth without even rinsing it. He must take a lot of excitement out of this because he's hard as a rock. Brush his teeth with the same toothbrush you just used them. I have experienced many fetishes in my life. This one takes the cake. Once he finishes, he rinses the toothbrush off and sets it on the counter by the sink. He seems excited as he brings you towards the bed, pausing to think for a moment. I guess it wouldn't be comfortable to sleep in your normal clothes. You can borrow some of mine. He digs out an old, worn pair of boxers and white undershirt tang from his dresser. These should do the trick. He tosses them to you, watching expectantly. He clearly intends for you to change right here. You figure you'll just leave your underwear on. That way, you won't be showing too much. You change hurriedly into borrowed clothes, then Wade climbs into bed. He pulls the covers back to let you lay down, and you hesitate for a moment. This is kind of weird. I'm really about to sleep in bed with a serial killer. Decide not to think about it too much, climbing in next to him and settling down. You intend to stay awake and find a weapon or escape route, but your plans are all quickly spoiled. Wade hooks an arm around your waist and pulls you closer to him, settling down to sleep. You won't be able to go anywhere with him holding you like this. Despite your best efforts to stay awake, you eventually drift off, still held close in his grip. Escape will have to wait till morning, I guess. When you wake up the next morning, you can already hear the rustling of Wade getting dressed. When you open your eyes, he's jerking on his clothes, pulling on the same stained clothes. He must have a uniform he has to wear to work. Well, that or he's just kind of gross. When he glances over and notices you, he's surprised for a moment. Oh, you're awake. He sighs, buckling his belt. I had to say it, but I'm gonna have to take you back down to the basement. I'm gonna be at work and I can't have you wrecking havoc while I'm gone. He may have trusted you enough to sleep in his bed, but he clearly doesn't trust you to stay here. Wade seems annoyed as he buttons his shirt, then turns to you, motioning gruffly. Come on, down you go. He seems like an entirely different man than the one you saw last night. Something is wrong this morning. He's irritable and snappy. You try not to pay too much mind and he leads you down the basement. He grabs something off the kitchen counter as he passes, something you don't get a chance to see. You take one more look around the kitchen, eyeing the drawers that store the utensils. If you needed a knife, well, you could probably find one there. Wade nudges you into the basement a little more roughly than needed. Inside the basement, the lights are on now, and there's a dog bed with a blanket against one wall. Wade tosses a cellophane packet of snack cakes labeled fish cakes towards you, along with a gallon-sized Ziploc. And the Ziploc is a toothbrush, toothpaste, and water bottle. Well, I guess it's the same thing as what we saw before, so we're gonna skip ahead. Okay, we're back. The lady is dead. We refused to kill her, so Wade had to do it himself. Wade seems much less tense now. It's honestly kind of disturbing. It's clear now why he was so irritable and cold this morning. He's holding back on you, letting you live longer than normal. And it's starting to wear thin on him, not being able to let out his violent urges. Now that he's gotten this out of his system, he's feeling much better. It's a horrifying reminder of who he really is. He may have times where he almost seemed kind, but in the end, he's still a murderer. He turns to look at you, smiling happily. It's getting real late, huh? Let's go up to my room, sleep. I can take care of that later. He seems to view the girl he killed more as an object than a person. Wade motions for you to follow him, leaving the dead body on the table as he steps into the kitchen. I don't want you to stay in the basement with a body a second longer. You follow quickly. You're hungry. We can get you something to eat if you want. You shake your head, your stomach turning a little. You feel too sick to eat anything. Wade nods, sighing a little. I guess it's to be expected. You haven't seen anything like that before, have you? Of course, it's a shock the first few times, but you get used to it after a while. He seems to think of this as somehow reassuring, and he pats your shoulder awkwardly. He doesn't seem to quite know how to comfort someone who's upset. He stands awkwardly in the kitchen for a moment before glancing over his shoulder at the hallway. Well, if you don't want anything to eat, we should head towards bed. He takes you by the wrist, not tight enough to hurt, but enough for you to know you don't really have a choice. He seems impatient as he leads you to the bedroom and overly eager. He's planning something, you can tell. Wade grins as he leads you into the bedroom, shutting the door behind you. You know, all that really got me worked up. I think I need to get some of this energy out. What do you say, darling? Want to work up a sweat with me? As he presses closer, his hand comes down to your hips, fiddling with the button of your pants. Yeah, you know what? I'ma just let him. Why not? But of course, I can show you what happens because YouTube won't be happy with me showing you the absolute time I had with Wade. But if you do want to see me like having some fun times with Wade, hey, why don't you go ahead, check out the Patreon down in the description below. But anyway, let's get some sleep. I can wash the sheets in the morning. He seems exhausted. He must not be used to such high effort adult fun times. He's probably a lot more used to things like what he did with your mouth in the basement. For a minute, you consider getting up to try to escape, but you can't find the energy to do it. Before you can bring yourself to stand up, your eyes flutter closed and you fall asleep. There will be time to escape tomorrow, you suppose. You wonder how many more times you've said that to yourself. And you wake the next morning. Wade stretches next to you, yawning. I need to wash these dirty clothes. They're filthy. Wade looks over at you, sending you a little smile. When he's well rested and calm, he seems nothing like the dangerous man you saw last night. It's disturbing how normal he seems most of the time. Could you head down into the kitchen and cook something up for breakfast while I wash these? This could be a chance to escape. You remember the knife in the kitchen drawer and nod. Yeah, I'll go start cooking. Wade seems a little surprised you agreed, but he smiles, nodding as he gets to work on stripping the sheets. You head out of the bedroom to the kitchen, pulling the drawer open and staring at the moment at the knife. You should catch him off guard before you use that on him. If you try to use it while he's still on guard, you might end up getting caught. In the end, you decide you'll do it while he's eating, which means you need to cook something for him. You manage to rustle up some eggs from the fridge and a pack of breakfast sausage from the freezer. Sausages just need to be seared to crisp them up, but the eggs require a little more cooking. As you scramble up the contents of the eggs, you remember something important. The pack of rat poison you found in the basement cabinets. If you used it on the eggs, maybe you could kill him and get out of here. So we do have a couple options here, okay? Like, they all lead to a survival end, but in my playthrough, I'm not gonna poison the food. It's not like I've got Stockholm Syndrome or something. What are you talking about? You stuff the poison back in your pocket. Your hands shake a little. Maybe poison isn't such a good idea after all. You plate the food up carefully, tossing the packet of poison into the trash. After a moment of thought, you buried it under the napkins and old pizza boxes to keep it hidden. It's probably the best way Wade ever found out you had that. After what feels like forever, you hear footsteps, the sound of Wade coming to the kitchen. Hey there, the food smells nice. Thanks for cooking. Wade smiles warmly as he settles down into the kitchen table. You set the plate down in front of him, smile a little, try not to think about the other night. It's difficult to think about what Wade has done. Wade accepts the food easily, glancing towards you. Aren't you gonna eat something? You hesitate, try to think of a good reason you don't have anything to eat. Well, you didn't have enough eggs to make 2 portions of food, so I just made some for you. Wade seems to accept his answer very easily, nodding with a smile. That makes sense. Yeah. Wade digs into the plate of eggs and sausages, seeming to enjoy the taste of them. You stand in the kitchen, watch him eat cautiously. This is it. This is your chance to escape. You creep over the counter, pulling out the knife as quietly as you can. Wade sits at the table, clueless as you hold the knife in your shaking hands. You can't take this anymore. You just can't do it. You lunge forward, pressing the knife to his throat, the edge biting into his skin slightly. What the f-? Wade's eyes widen. For a moment, he looks like he'll be overtaken with rage. Then, to your surprise, he takes a deep, slow breath, his eyes meeting yours. He stares into them for a moment, examining you closely. He stares like if he looks hard enough, he might be able to see into your soul. He hesitates for a moment, breaking eye contact and looking away. Do you really want to leave that badly? He looks back towards you, a strange look of pain in his eyes. Haven't I treated you well? Haven't I fed you and gave you somewhere warm to sleep? I never hurt you. Never even did real procedures on your teeth. Do you really hate me that much? Do you really want to go? He's crying! Frick! Look into his eyes in this moment when he's teary-eyed and at his most vulnerable. You're reminded of the photos you saw in his photo album down in the basement. What you saw down there. The photos of a distant boy rejected by his mother yank at your heart. In Wade's eyes is a terror that may be just as old as he is, the fear of being abandoned. Somewhere along the way, this man has begun to cling to you in ways you never noticed, never considered. Now, with the threat of you leaving rearing its head, he's experiencing this fear all over. Maybe for the first time in years, for all you know. It makes it hard to think clearly about what you're going to say next. You know he's awful and dangerous, but it's hard to remember that when all you see is a scared little boy. You can't stall any longer. It's time to choose what you're doing. You know you should leave and get out now, but something's tugging at your heartstrings. Something about the way he looks at you so desperately makes you feel special. You like feeling special, even in a screwed up way. Wade has screwed with your head so much, it's hard to distinguish what you want anymore. You take a deep breath, looking him in the eye. I want to stay. You hesitate, torn by his expression and the feeling that he needs you. Wade stands, assuming he knows your answer already. He leads you out of the living room, standing next to the door as he unlocks it. Slowly, hesitantly, he pulls the door open so you can see the street outside. You can go if you want. I won't stop you. You feel like you're going crazy. You should despise this man. You should hate him with all your heart, and yet, all you can think about is the look on his face, that pain and desperation. Leaving him would destroy him, you know it. Even if you didn't call the cops, don't imagine he would last much longer. He's dealt with so many abandonments in his lifetime. If you leave him, you have a feeling this will be the one to shatter him forever. As you think back on your time with him, you remember the bad parts, of course, but you can't help but think of all the good things that happened too, the times when he was so kind. You often forgot he was a killer entirely, until little things reminded you of the fact. In the end, you can't stand to hurt him. You can't stand to be the one to break his heart. You lower your knife slowly, tears welling up in your eyes. Wade stares at you in disbelief as you put the knife to the table. I can't do it. I can't leave you. Wade stares for a moment, almost not seeming to register your words. Wait, you mean it? You're staying. You nod, wiping your tears with the back of your hands. I don't know when it happened or how, but I can't leave you. I can't leave because Wade, I love you. At first, Wade seems uncertain. He can't seem to believe anyone in this world could love him. You could really love a monster like me? The words register slowly, but when they do, they overwhelm him. Oh, Lion, I love you too. More than you could ever know. Wade reaches out to hold your face between his palms, an expression of pure adoration on his face. I can't wait to spend the rest of my life with you, darling. You have a feeling, as he says this, you're not gonna be leaving, ever. Somehow, though, you find that you're okay with that. You have him, and it's enough. So we survived, and that was the end of Lover's Trophy. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys want to play this game for yourself, link to the game will be in the description below. And of course, since it is a murder sim with some fairly intense scenes, well, not fairly, they are intense. Yeah, just take note that it's meant to be played by those 18 and above. And yeah, if there's any other games you guys want me to try out, let me know in the comments below. And yeah, hope you guys have a lovely rest of the day. And as always, I'll be seeing you in the next video. This is Lion, signing off. Ciao.